Hey everyone, here's this week's edition of this week's exciting reading adventures, and yeah, to start on a somber note, we lost one of my heroes. I lost one of my heroes this week, and that person was David Lynch. You may recall that he passed away yesterday, and I think it's no small feat that it's due to, because I'm telling people that he's really the first big celebrity victim of the Palisades wildfires, and that's heaped on top of all the other misery this week. The people that is it like 20 something dead? I heard it was 36. If you combine the two fires together, and apparently, David Lynch had to be evacuated from his home last week, and due to the he reported that he had cancer, and he was suffering from emphysema, and apparently that accelerated his disease from all the smoke and inhalation and everything. And it's this week I also had to contribute I had to donate some money to three of my coworkers who lost their houses in the Eaton fire. So I had to give $100 donation. Intentionally, it came out to 85. Plus, this is the first time I ever used a GoFundMe page thing, and I didn't realize the tip didn't have to be mandatory. So I could have donated a whole full of $100, but it turned out to be 85 plus a tip. And I said, what? I was telling people on Facebook, what the heck? GoFundMe is they're charging tips during a time of crisis like this, and someone told me on Facebook, my friend Randy Ronaldo, that it's not mandatory. You could have just moved the cursor down to 0, and it was it's like drivetime.com. You make the deal you want. Oh. So anyway, with that, this is very little seen movie. It's not one of the biggest things on David Lynch repertoire. It got very little theater distribution. This is like from his last big major movie from 2006 called Inland Empire. It's quite a it's probably not for everybody. It's a very that's the thing I love about David Lynch is his stories don't have to make sense. It's the visuals that you really you really fall in love with. I met him only one time, and I ran into him in Brentwood at Chin Chin's, which is a popular Chinese fusion restaurant. There's some few locations, even one in Studio City nearby me, and I believe there's one in Sunset Boulevard, and one I ran into was in Brentwood when I was living with during the time I was staying with my friend Harry Brazigian. I ran into him. He was outdoors having lunch with one of his grandkids, I would assume, and I just approached him. Didn't want to disturb his lunch, but I said, "Geez, all the times I walk by you and I don't have my the Pazman comic book on hand to give to you, because you so inspired me to create this character." And he said, "Oh well." All he told me is, "Oh, maybe next time," and it's that famous Midwestern drawl of his. So anyway, put a pause on this. I am doing a week, like I said. I'm trying to make this short. It's going to be, this is a Magnus Robot Fighter week, and I have 4 issues from the Valiant series that was published in the mid-90s. I don't know how long the series lasted, but eventually, when this version of the series ended, it got picked up by either by Dynamite or Dark Horse. But I guess Valiant claim is the claim to fame, so to speak. Because this series lasted longer than all the first series combined, and it was mainly written by spearheaded by Bob Layton of Iron Man fame, and these issues were written by John Ostrander, who's is pretty famous now for the creation of the current model of Suicide Squad, and Bob Layton was editor-in-chief on these books. But a little history of Magnus. Magnus first appeared in Magnus Robot Fighter 4000 AD, published in February 1963 by Russ Manning, and published by Gold Key, and was also published in comics by Valiant, Acclaim, Dark Horse, Dynamite, etc. It's heavily influenced by Isaac Asimov's Three Laws of Robotics theme books, such as iRobot. Magnus trained from infancy. He was trained by infancy by a robot tutor named 1A to be a skilled martial artist who was able to have the ability to break steel with his bare hands, to protect the city of Northam from robot totalitarian control. Northam is the entire North American continent is a big metropolis, futuristic metropolis, and you imagine it's something that big, covering nothing but giant skyscrapers. I don't see how you get around that city. I gotta imagine that public transportation is a real bitch. So, he also has a girlfriend named Leeja, spelled Leeja. Russ Manning only completed 21 issues. Russ Manning was also known for the popularity of the Tarzan comic strip and Star Wars comic strip. Other writers and artists picked up the slack until the series with issue 46 of January 1977. It was canceled. There was a temporary backup series in last three issues of Dr. Solar, issues 29 to 31. But Gold Key folded in the 80s, even though there were two issues fully completed that never saw the light of day if Magnus Robot Fighter was to be resurrected. And you can see it wasn't. So this is issue 25. These, I understand, are pivotal issues in the Magnus mythology. The reason why it's silver. I see interesting things here about this book here. This is the story is called Flesh and Steel. As I mentioned, it was written by John Ostrander, penciled by James Brock. Ralph Reese was the inker. Some guy who I can't pronounce, Mark Gazazar, was the colorist. I can't really hold that issue because the cardstock on it is heavy. It's called I can't. I don't do late 90s books in my series of exciting reading adventures. Usually I focus more on Silver Age and Bronze Age era books. But somehow I came across 4 of these issues. I never read them before. And I wanted to check it out, so here they are. They're probably going to my a buck a book box. So, they printed this stuff on a black black wallpaper. Not really into. Let me see. Okay, there's a synopsis here, and it claims to be the true origin of Magnus, fully revealed to Magnus himself. Magnus and Rookie, the Geomancer, journey to the undersea base where Magnus was raised by 1A. There they discover that 1A has rebuilt himself into the bird-like ASA unit and the transformable Hard Rob. Asa presents Magnus with an ancient letter from his mother, as well as an armor better suited for the war against the Malevs, which are like monolithic robots have somehow taken over. This was introduced in the Acclaim series, the Malevs. And well, there's another important thing I know about this issue is that Magnus finally ditches the red futuristic kilt that he's been wearing for the entire run of the Gold Key, and they gave him armor in this. And you see that's Asa right there. That's the robot bird, so to speak. Okay. Any quotes? See any special notes? Yeah, basically that's it. It is also, why I say the pivotal story in here is because he's Magnus finally finds out that he's not a robot himself as he was led to believe. And there's the Malevs there, the Queen Malev, whatever she is, and he's actually human. It's just enhanced somehow. He's been given some kind of power booster potion since he was since his infancy. This is a Valiant original character called Ray, and he's their occasional guest star. He has his own series too, and I'm sure Magnus guest starred in there. In fact, they were switching. They were switching like back and forth. I mean, you read an issue of Magnus, usually the issue will lead into an issue of Ray. He's a Japanese superhero. He finally sees a picture of his mother right there. And there's the robot that raised him, 1A, to be a human fighting machine, or robot fighting machine. And this was an interesting, I can tell you, I remember the first time I saw this issue appear on the stands. And it was actually my store carried it too. I think we got a couple copies, but I remember this, there was a whole crap load of issues in this store in North Hollywood that got in a mall that got destroyed by the earthquake. And they were our competitor. I mean, they were our big competitors. We couldn't beat them, in a hand wrestling arm wrestling contest. We didn't. I mean, Rookies and All Stars would have probably, if the earthquake hadn't happened, my store in North Hollywood, Rookies and All Stars, probably would have folded within 2-3 years, because these guys are always competing with us. They were getting the best merchandise and everything, and when the earthquake finally destroyed them, we became the go-to store because our store was not damaged during the earthquake, during the Northridge quake, that is. That was a big issue that I remember selling in our store at the time. Yeah, we had a lot of people who loved Valiant and Image Comics, so it makes sense to have them merge together to do a summer event series called Deathmate. And I hope that's the last shot of this. Yep, that's the last shot. And then there's the super armor that he gets here. I remember carrying those in the store. It's my guards. And there's an issue of Ray and the Future Force. Yeah, I couldn't remember the team's name, but it was the Future Force. They were pretty. Valiant was pretty much standard. They adopted the Marvel method of doing the special bulletins and checklists and editorial fun events there. Like I said, there's 4 issues in a row. Issue 26 followed, and this expounds upon. This is more like a retrospective issue of events that have gone on in the past. So 26 is, this story is narrated by young wolves. All the other characters only appear in flashback scenes. Oh yeah, okay, there's a little team of little junior fighters that Magnus usually helps out called the Young Wolves. And Magnus feels in this issue that he doesn't really need to help them out anymore. They can pretty fight these robots on their own. Let's see. This was also written by Jim Ostrander wrote all the four issues. A penciler took over by the name of Jim Calafiore. I was made to find that he was a Facebook friend of mine. He's no longer among the living. I don't know the details of what happened to him. I linked his name in my Facebook post, and next day I guess someone's family saw and they deleted me. I don't know. There's some. I notice a lot of deceased writers and artists that I have on my Facebook account. If you post something of their past work, someone in the family objects to it, and they delete you from the list, or they delete the account altogether. I don't know what happened to Bob Layton. I used to have him as a Facebook friend, and I can't find hide or hair of his Facebook account anymore. I know something must have happened that peed him off. He's not in. I mean, I can't even find if he deleted me personally or he's deleted his account entirely, because he's no longer in Facebook anywhere. So synopsis is a group of survivors huddled together and find inspiration in stories of Magnus's past battles. Through only children themselves, they vow to continue fighting the Melevs. What was that? I can't read that name. Okay, so they basically said they form a pack to become the Young Wolves. Okay, so the story captures important moments in the history of Magnus and the life of him, paying homage to many original Gold Key characters who haven't been reintroduced yet. Okay, there's H8 and the Young Wolves would have one more appearance, and only Donne would play a larger role than the character originally did back in the day. And but yeah, this is a little homage to Magnus the robot fighter history. Villains that he's come across. Different artists has picked up the slack, like drawing each one vignette or memory. Like Cliff Van Meter, I believe I have him as a Facebook friend. I believe I do. I have him. I think I did tag him in a post. Whether he's seen it or not remains to be seen. This is the one that is big enemy here. Dr. Lazlo Noel. He's a carryover from the Gold Key series. He believes that Magnus loves. He's a robot lover. And there's really not much to go with this. I mean, this story is just a recapitation of Magnus robot fighter history that you probably didn't know about. Up to the present day with the Maldives or whatever. Ray being his constant partner in taking out these robots. It was an interesting series. I forgot. I remember reading this one. And here all the young wolves gather together around a campfire, pledging their allegiance to each other to become a fighting group of young rapscallions. Shadow Man was another character I liked. That's the original. The thing is, Jim Shooter bought these Gold Key characters, and he lined them with another universe, with a bunch of new creations like Exo Man of War, Archer and Armstrong, Ray, with the other big, Shadow Man, and the Harbingers. So this is Wednesday's night's read. This is the 27th. This is where things start to pick up, and this is where Jim Calafiore became a regular pencil on the series. And let's see if I have this right. I have this. Right, number 27. Okay. Okay, so in this issue, Magnus and his allies refused to aid Lazo Noel's mad plan to destroy North Am's weather control. In the end, Magnus must once again battle Noel despite their mutual hatred of the Maldives. But Noel proves too much for Magnus, and weather control is destroyed. As Noel and Magnus rises from the rubble, a new threat appears. Mechman, the new Maldive vizier. So, feast your eyes on, look at that, double page spread. That's all it. So, Marvel and weren't the only ones who did that. Let me see. They had one thing about Valiant Comics, they had this big long indicia. And here's they acknowledge that Magnus is published by Gold Key, is owned by Gold Key, or it's a licensed character. There was a contest they had here, Valiant. They ran some kind of serial number contest where you could win like full runs of series, and the grand prize was every issue in our repertoire that we published so far. That was the big grand prize winner, and lots of exciting action here taking place. Eviscerating all these robots. I don't know what this was. I don't remember this one too well. This was another thing about Valiant is it sort of revived Barry Windsor Smith's career before he went over to Malibu Comics and he created Rune, which you can find in any dollar bin, which is surprising. Barry Windsor Smith's artwork regaled to be thrown in the dollar bins. That's sad because I love Smith's work. But Smith's, I don't know what he's doing these days. This is in Hero Illustrated was a sort of a knockoff of Wizard magazine, but they had a lot of more stuff. Extras they stuffed in the poly bags. I think Wizard got jealous and they started up the ante on their free giveaways. But Hero Illustrated included one issue I bought had a 0 issue of the X-Files, which is worth like $10 or something like that. Now, on itself, if you happen to come across one, fortunately for the only two number of issues from the top series Only one or two are worth any money. Everything else is just junk. I mean, I know I'm going through those boxes back there. I'm finding, oh, geez. Yeah, one is like worth $30. It used to be worth more than that. But you know, that's the chances you take when you do movie TV tie-ins. Unless it's Star Wars, a lot of it's just worth bumpkins. Exciting artwork there. There's the scene that takes place in the cover. Magnus getting blasted by those electrical powers. It's a ugly drag down fight with Dr. Noel. I'm sorry, Lazo. He has to call himself Dr. Noel Lazo, not Dr. Noel, but Dr. Noel Lazo. Here's the big Mech Man character, and I believe that's a holdover from the Gold Key series. Okay, so final issue I read last night. I'm sorry I couldn't do this last night. I got home too late from picking up my comics at the store near where I work, and I didn't get home till like 10 o'clock almost last night. So yeah, they pushed everything I usually do by an hour. So let me see. Oh, damn. Here. Okay, is that it? No. I want the new tab. I want the final issue 28. This is 28. Okay. I'm cooking with oil here. Let me see. This story is called. Look at that. That's a interesting panel. With the weather control station destroyed, a wild storm rages in North Am for the first time in centuries. Against the backdrop of unfettered nature, Magnus and Noel battle the rebuilt Mechman, who now serves Malivs. Noel is captured, but Magnus succeeds in destroying Mechman's robotic systems and leaves them helpless, pinned to a wall. No notes, nothing. Fortunately, this story I left off, it leaves me off on a cliffhanger. Them's the breaks. What was that character's name? I remember selling that book in Rookies. Really some. Let's just breeze through this because I gotta get back to work. Future Force, contemplating what they should do in a massive rainstorm. More atmospheric. Well, can't make fun of this anymore, but atmospheric disturbances. What do they call it? These we don't call them rainstorms out here anymore. Atmospheric something. I can't comprehend it right now. Comic shop news that used to be available. I mean, it's still available every week. When a guy named Cliff Biggers printed this out of every week, he put this thing out. Little junior version of Comics Buyer's Guide, in my opinion. But he handled it himself, and he used to get reprints of the Spider-Man strip and the Batman strip, and so it was a cool way because I don't remember any newspaper in San Diego or LA who carried the Batman strip at the time. What a Spider-Man strip anymore. I mean, it's a story for another time. Yeah, this is I like this panel right here. Ostrander's dialogue is a little clunky and stuff, like this. We're heart, we're soul, and we're spirit, and we won't give up. It's like you're rushing to battle, and you gotta say like a whole diatribe of dialogue before you get into battle. This is like not Marvel Comics. I know Spider-Man can pull it off with his wisecracks, but mostly any hero in the Marvel canon can pull off a wisecrack while they're waylaying the villains out, like Daredevil. And here's a big full ad for Deathmate. um, oh yeah, just oh, that's a good smack. That's a good smacking in the noggin there. It makes your head spin backwards. And what happened here? Oh, the old lightning rod cliched trick here. You know, jam the little metal pipe into your chest and watch and hope the lightning just hits it directly, and you're just like fried calamari for the rest of the battle. But he's still not dead yet. The Batman is still not dead yet. He just wants Magnus to finish his job. I draw a line here, but and he's really he gets up and he says, "You gotta kill me. You gotta freaking kill me, man. It's the code. It's the superhero supervillain code. You gotta freaking kill me. You gotta finish me off." Yeah, he goes into a whole spiel about it, and I think the team the Future Force team gets captured, and Magnus he doesn't get back in nick of time for them to be carted away, and Magnus has got to go and save his buddy. I think AI is also been captured, and that's where I get the cliffhanger there. And there are T-shirts today. It's hard to believe this stuff is like 32 years old. Bernard Chang, I've met him one time, signing books. Oh, so that's it for this week. I hope everybody in LA, LA channels who happen to stumble across these videos. I don't really care who sees them or not. These like I said, these like my personal journal. It's more like a video journal that I would rather post these up on my blog. One thing I'm thinking of doing, concerning a tribute to David Lynch, I'm gonna go through my old files that I have. I've piles and piles of stuff I've typed up over the years. There was something that that David Lynch inspired me to write after seeing Twin Peaks for the first time in 1990. I can remember the first day when that series debuted. It was such a thrill to see, the maker of the first Dune movie, Blue Velvet, do a TV series. And I remember I was working in Encinitas over the Circle K the evening it premiered, and it was like the first. My mom had given me a portable TV, a black and white portable TV. Remember those that you can take up? You have a bunch of batteries. I said, I can't miss that. I can't miss it, man. So I took that. I worked a graveyard shift at Circle K at the time. I brought that TV with me, and hardly anybody came in. I think they were all home watching the series debut, but I brought that in with the Circle K, and I watched it over while manning the counter. Memories of the guy. He's one of the biggest influence in my life. So anyway, take care. I'll see you all next week with I think I'm doing a 2-part Tarzan tribute, Marvel's Tarzan. Bye.